Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is our fourth online lecture of the class 7 general science. You know about it that we will started the chapter number 1, which is about the digestive system. In this chapter we will discuss about the different food groups and the different things like the digestion, chemical digestion, mechanical digestion, absorption and removal of waste. Now we are going to start the digestive system, a proper system which is modified a proper digestion of the food. Human adopted a proper system. Digestive system or digestive system is a long tube which begins in the mouth and ends at the anus. Digestive system is started at the mouth. It is started from the mouth and ends with the anus. Mouth is used for taking of the food and anus is used for the removal of the waste from the body. This is a digestive system you can see on your screen, which is starting from the oral cavity as will be called mouth. Then the salivary glands, that glands are present below the tongue and which release the saliva, and this saliva helps in soften the food and having an enzyme called amylase which help in broken down the carbohydrates or sugars into a simple sugar called maltose. Then esophagus, which is adopted for the pushing of the food towards the stomach. Then the small intestine and the large intestine. After it, the rectum and the anus here. And anus is used for the removal of the waste from the body. Now coming toward the proper digestive parts. It must be in sequence. The digestive parts must be in sequence, in a proper sequence. The sequence is that mouth, esophagus, pharynx, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. So digestive parts which is started from the mouth and ends with the anus. Clear, girls? So these are the digestive parts. Digestive parts or digestive system are also called alimentary canal. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. This is a proper sequence of the digestive parts. Now starting from the mouth. The first part of digestive system is mouth. It is the quick chewing process. Food mixed with the saliva in the mouth. Clear? The first part of the digestive system is mouth. We take the food through the mouth. Then the food is mixed with the saliva, with the water. This water which is present in our mouth is called the saliva. And this saliva is released from the salivary glands. And salivary glands are present below the tongue. The salivary glands are present below the tongue. These saliva are released from salivary glands and saliva helps in the softening of the food as well. Saliva contains an enzyme called amylase. Amylase help in the digestion of the carbohydrates or the starch and convert it into small molecules. Clear, girls? Saliva contains a amylase enzyme break down the starch into soluble sugar called maltose. Maltose is the small unit of the sugar or the carbohydrates. This is the mouth in which the different teeth are present, and below the tongue there is a salivary glands which is the saliva will help in the soften the food. As well, teeth help in the digestion, mechanical digestion. That digestion which is done by the force or the mechanical help, this is called the mechanical digestion because teeth helps to break down the food into small pieces, which help us to swallow. Easy swallow. Then after the mouth, a long tube called the esophagus or gullet. The chewed food is pulled down the esophagus by the waves of muscular contraction called peristalsis. This is called a peristalsis. When the food is moving downward by the muscular contraction of the esophagus or the muscles, this is called the peristalsis. When the food moves towards the stomach by the help of the muscular contraction of the esophagus, this is called peristalsis. Esophagus does not help in the digestion. It just pushes the food towards the stomach. This is a proper digestive system. You can see in this diagram esophagus. Clear? Then stomach. Esophagus is a long tube which helps in pushing the food towards the stomach. You can see in that diagram the green part is the food which is going towards the stomach by the help of the muscular contraction of the esophagus. It is called peristalsis. Then stomach. Stomach can hold 1.5 liters of the food. Stomach can hold 1.5 liters of the food. This is very important point. How many food can store the stomach? 1.5 liters of food. Then food is mixed with the gastric juices, hydrochloric acid which kills the bacteria in the food, because food is mixed with the bacteria because we take the food from the environment, and in the environment different bacteria or the different germs are present, so it is mixed with the food. When we take the food, it have a lot of the bacteria. So Allah make a proper system in our body that we have a hydrochloric acid in our stomach which kills the bacteria and clean the food from the different type of the germs, and we are protected from the germs. Clear? The food is churned around in the stomach for up to 6 meals up to 6 hours after a large meal. Food can store in the stomach at about 6 hours. This is the stomach. You can see in that diagram. The esophagus is connected to the stomach. Then the stomach is connected to the small intestine. So the food is going or moving in the esophagus. Then it is going towards the stomach. Clear? And in the stomach, the different enzymes are released. Which one enzyme is released in the stomach? The protease enzyme are released in the stomach, which helps in the digestion of the proteins, which convert the proteins into amino acids. Clear? Because the protein are the large molecule, so it must have to break down into small molecule. So the protease enzyme are released in the stomach, and in the stomach the protease enzyme convert the proteins into amino acids. Then all the food is going towards the small intestine. Then small intestine, the food is slowly squeezed or squeezed along the small intestine about 2.5 centimeters a minute. It means a food is covered a distance at about 2.5 centimeters in 1 minute. Small intestine is about 7 meters long and 3 centimeters in diameter. Small intestine produces an enzyme. So which enzyme is produced here? First of all, a lipase enzyme is produced at here, which converts the fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Then after the digestion of the lipase enzyme, all the enzymes are released which is responsible for the digestion of the proteins, fats and carbohydrates. Clear? So all the digestion is done at here. You can see in that diagram stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Here is the gallbladder. The green part is the gallbladder and the yellow part is the pancreas. So what is the function of both these parts? Bile. The food passes from the stomach into small intestine. Listen carefully. When the food passes from stomach towards the small intestine, at the same time a bile is squirted on it, a bile is released. So which part produces the bile? The gallbladder produced the bile and liver stored the bile. Sorry. The liver, bile is stored in the gallbladder and made by the liver. Clear? Liver produces the bile and bile is stored in the gallbladder. What is the function of the bile? Bile breakdowns or emulsifies the fats because it have the lipase enzyme which convert the bile into small molecules, and these small molecules are called fatty acid and glycerol. Clear, girls? So bile is secreted from the liver and it is stored into the gallbladder. Then pancreas. Pancreas produces 3 more enzymes which digest the proteins, fats and carbohydrates. Clear? Pancreas release a pancreatic juice which have these 3 enzymes: protease enzyme, lipase enzyme and amylase enzyme, which break down the proteins, fats and carbohydrates. You can see in that diagram liver, small intestine, clear, the pancreatic duct, stomach and pancreas. Clear, girls? Now, villi are present in the walls of small intestine. The walls of small intestine are not smooth. Clear? It is not clear. It is not smooth. But they are covered with the millions of the tiny finger-like projections. Tiny finger-like projections, the villi are perfect for absorbing the food. They give a small intestine a much perfect area for absorbing the food. So, girls, the villi are the hair-like projection which are present inside the small intestine. And when we take the food and the food is properly digested or converted into the small molecules, and when the waste material are separated from the food, then this food are absorbed through the villi. Villi have a blood capillaries. So that's why, villi are covered with the blood capillaries. So all the food are absorbed through the villi and then it is distributed into body. They have a dense outer layer, cells and dense network of the blood capillaries. Now, small molecules, coming towards the next topic, which is about small molecules. Large molecules of food digested into small molecules. Clear? Large molecules of food digested into small molecules because we need energy and our body does not allow to take large molecules because this food or this energy have to be taken to the every cell of the body. So it must to be needed to be break down into small molecules. Glucose digested into glucose and other simple sugar called maltose by the help of amylase enzyme. So the glucose digestion, which one enzyme are responsible? Amylase enzyme are responsible. Proteins are converted into amino acids. Clear? Proteins are converted or digested into amino acid by the help of protease enzyme. Then fats are digested into fatty acids and glycerol by the help of lipase enzyme. Clear? Lipase enzyme are responsible for the conversion of the fats into fatty acid and glycerol. So girls, For the digestion of the carbohydrates, which enzyme are responsible? Amylase enzyme. And for the digestion of the protein, protease enzyme are responsible. And for the digestion of fats, lipase enzyme are responsible. Clear, girls? Okay, thank you so much. The next topic we will discuss inshallah in our next video lecture.